Chick Chat Comedy Podcast. I'm here today with my lovely co-host, the lovely, the talented Carrie Carabas.
You look at me like you don't know my name every time.
Do you know what it is?
Lovely and talented.
Then I pause.
It's like you pause and you go, Carrie Carabas.
You know why? This is like a really weird mental thing, but I always write down everyone's names here because...
Did you write mine?
No, I didn't,
swear
but
to
usually I do because if I know it's down, then I don't. But if it's not down, I have like a mental block, and then I think I'm going to forget. And I think how embarrassing would it be if I forget that your name is Carrie Carabas? Because that happened with my ex-husband. I forgot his name, and that was very...
I would too. I mean, it's not like a...
So anyway, yes, I usually do write it down. So Carrie Carabas, and we have wonderful guests, Carrie.
Wonderful guests. We're very excited.
These have been friends of ours for years, yes?
Chick Power.
Chick Power.
Well, actually, not my friends because I just met both ladies.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought you've known them.
We are on Facebook.
Yes, you are Facebook friends.
I've heard of you for years.
We have Robin Fox.
Hi.
Robin Fox, the very
everyone
funny.
raves about you, about how
you.
funny you are.
And you know how I heard about you? Whenever I perform Long Island, people go, "Do you know Carrie? You should see Carrie. You could learn a lot watching Carrie." It's like that's what all the guys over there, all
Carrie's
the guy comics,
talking to the
all
mic.
the guy comics in Long Island love you, and they all said, "Oh, Paul Anthony says you should watch Carrie.
Oh,
you
Paul
could learn
Anthony
so
loves her.
much watching
Really?
Carrie." It was like, I hate her. I don't even know her. I hate you don't say,
so
but I didn't realize I didn't hate you. I hated them
Right,
for
but
saying that to
That's
me.
so
It's-
rude.
Yeah, but they
like
always
you could
pass.
say that to every guy comic. You should like watch a real comic. And
You should watch Dave Attell. You might learn
Right,
something. Yeah.
yeah.
But they like to. They always like to pit women comics. And women in general against each other. I think.
I actually had sex with a guy once who said,
once.
and he said to me, "You should talk to my old girlfriend, and she could tell you a few things."
Wow. Did you
So-
call her? Because
No, but
I would have called her and said, "Thank you. We're never fucking again." But the next guy's going to be really lucky.
But don't you wish you could get references? Like, if you're going to, before you fuck some guy, like, I need some references to make sure, like, like from other people, I want to, like a Yelp review. That would be really nice.
That would be, but before we continue, Jane Condon is our other guest.
Jane, now, do people call you Condom?
Yeah, was that in high school?
Always,
No,
right?
Oh, that's your married name, Condon.
No, it's the whole.
It's
the
your real
thing.
name.
Oh, that's
It's
your
the real
name?
thing. Yeah, I didn't want to let it go.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I just my very first show in New York was at the comic strip,
Mine too.
and someone introduced me as Janie Condom, and I
No,
just-
they didn't.
And I said it's a safe name.
Well, it was
There's
a better
our
name.
joke,
It was a better name than mine because my real name is Fuchs, and I was introduced the first time I was on stage as Robin Fox, and that happened one time. One time only. I was Robin Fox. The next time I went on stage, but one time only. And
Oh,
you would-
my God.
And you'd be Fox too if your name was Fuchs.
And we are live at the comic strip, okay? So I want to put
Adam
that plug in.
Hineker on sound.
Yes, and
Debbie Perlman sitting in the
sitting in the house. She's
sitting in the house.
She's my name already. No, I didn't. I remembered your name, Debbie Perlman.
Now, Debbie had a couple of. There was a lot of Dina Perlman. There was all these other
Right.
female comics named Perlman,
Yeah.
and they would always confuse you.
Yeah.
They would. They confused me. And then there was Randy Pearlstein. So there was just like a whole bunch
A
of
Pearlstein and a Perlman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Jewish name, Perlman? I didn't know
Yes.
that. Oh, okay.
Very.
All right. Well,
Patty's in an uproar.
I'm in an uproar. What am I? I'm sorry, I'm too loud.
She's
What
just
am I
in an uproar with all these sexual harassment things.
I
She
am.
loves this topic.
Because, we've all had this shit. Well, maybe we haven't all had this shit happen to us, but I've had this shit happen to me, and it's not like what's happened. I never had anybody jerk off in front of me. So
I have.
You have? Well, I've had not a comic.
Not
in
a comic
real,
either.
Oh, in real
Men
life,
are
I've
just
had,
freaks in general.
I've had a guy jerk off in front of me at Central Park. I'm walking up the stairs, at the top of the stairs, jerked off. A guy in a car pulled up the car next to me, asking me for directions. I lean in, his dick's out, he's jerking off. The guy at the movie theater jerked off. I'm trying to think who else has jerked off in
brings
front
out
of
the
me.
best in people.
But I'm just saying, a lot of guys
My
have jerked.
sister set me up on a blind date, and this guy was gorgeous. He was tall, big bouncer. He worked at Zachary's.
Zachary's,
A
what's that?
nightclub.
Oh, okay.
A disco nightclub.
Oh, okay.
So she's like, "You're gonna really like him." She sets me up, and we all have dinner. And then all of a sudden, I turn around, and she's gone with her boyfriend, and they leave me in the car with this guy. So as we're driving, he pulls out his dick. He starts jerking off, and I'm like,
Are you
"So
shitting
now
me?
it's like 2 a.m. I'm not gonna let him drop me off anywhere." So he's like, touch it. I go, I'm not. Listen, bro, I'm not
Are
touching
you
shit.
kidding me?
You're a
How old are
fucking
you?
freak. And he was licking his hand.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I didn't even want to. You know what? It was like, I wanted to just punch his ugly fucking face in, but I didn't like him from the dinner anyway because he talked about himself constantly.
Well, wait, how did your sister meet him though? Why would your
Because
sister?
her boyfriend knew him from the clubs and they were friends, but he didn't know he was going to jerk off in the car and lick his hands. So then he drops me off at my sister's house and I barrel in and I go, why don't you just call Charles Manson and have him fucking take me home? Your fucking friend, I go, just jerked off in the car. I was like, grossed out and appalled. I go, you know what? And back then there were no cell phones.
Oh yeah, you
you
were
were
at
stuck.
their mercy.
You
That's
were
true.
stuck.
No
You were
cell
in the
phones.
car.
I couldn't even film it and do a live and be like, can you believe this? This guy's jerking off in the car while I'm live. It was like disgusting cat.
But like that's the
wouldn't even
thing
do
that
that.
these guys have. Some guys have this jerking off thing. They like when that guy, when I'm walking up the stairs and I look up and he's there, you know, looking, and I see his face, and he's getting off on the fact that I'm like, you know, because your face is
Yeah,
like, oh my
I don't
God.
have that face.
Do they expect you to lick your lips? What do they think you're going to
They
do?
want you to be. I
I'm
think
not humiliated. I feel
think they want
sorry
you to
for
be
you.
humiliated.
I feel
Changed.
sorry for you when that happens.
I've had it also in the subway. On the subway, the guy across the tracks
Patty.
was jerking off. I'm
well,
waiting.
maybe
I'm
it
like,
wasn't
what
you.
is
Maybe
this
it was just he was just doing it to do it.
You happened to
He
know.
lived there.
No, because he wasn't doing it. I'm standing there, and you know how people are across the way, and you kind of just get them
Glaze
in.
over.
Yeah, glazes over, and I see him there, and all of a sudden, he sees his arm moving up and down, and I'm like, oh God. But
Okay,
it's
I
like
got
a
another
thing.
great jerk off story.
Okay, and then we'll ask you yours for
I'm
yours, girls.
in beauty school and I'm doing hair.
I love that
and-
you went to beauty school.
Oh,
and
no wonder you have
did,
great
I-
hair.
That's why you look so good. Aside from
That's how you can cut your own hair.
That's
good.
So I'm doing this guy's hair. Nobody wants to cut this guy's hair, and I don't know why. All
Oh,
these
no.
little girls. So I go, put him in my chair. He gets in my chair, and all of a sudden, I'm doing his hair, and all of a sudden the girl goes, Carrie, come here. And I go over, and she goes, he's jerking off. I go,
Oh, no.
under the apron.
yes. I go, no, he's not. She goes, yes, he is. And I go, okay, if he is, we're gonna have an issue. So now I go back over there and I'm coming, and now I'm aware because now I'm not focusing on his hair. I could give a fuck what he looks like. And he starts jerking off, and I grab him.
Ow, that's my bad arm.
I grab his shoulder.
That's my
I'm
bad
sorry.
arm with the
I'm
surgery.
sorry.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
I'm sorry. I grab his shoulder like this, and I
Yes.
go, "Get your fucking hands out from under your thing." And he's like, "What?" I go, "Get your fucking hands out right now." And he goes like this. He goes, sticks his hands out like this. I go, "If your hands go under that thing, I will stab you in the neck." I was 35 years old. These little girls were 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't give
Who
a shit.
cares at that
I go,
point?
I will stab you in the neck with the fucking scissor. Keep your fucking hands out the whole time I'm up here. Just like that. So he sat like this.
I can't believe you
shaved his
finished
head
his
bald.
haircut. I would have.
I did, and I fucked it all up on purpose.
Good. That's I'm going to take the buzz right like this.
Girls. Okay, Robin, Jane. Any weird thing? You ever have jerk off stories or nobody?
In comedy, no. But I've had. I was once coming out of ShopRite in Bound Brook, New Jersey, for all my listeners, and I'm putting the stuff in the car, and this guy is like looking at me, and he's looking at me, giving me the eye, and I'm thinking, he's a good-looking, black man, very handsome. Like, yeah, I know, I got it going on, I got a baby in my arms, I'm sexy, and as I walk into the car, I have my son in my arms, and I look in, and he's whacking off, and I was so pissed off. If I didn't have the kid, I think I would have killed. I put the kid in the car, and I'm like, and then I went to go write down the number, and he drove off. But
No, they do it in the cars a lot.
You're so. For me, I'm so shocked. Like you're frozen. Like I don't even think to get his. It's so weird. I never even thought to report that stuff back in the day. Like I just thought, what am I going to do? Say that some guy's jerking off in his car, and then he'll go, "No, I didn't jerk off in the car." So what are you going to call the police?
We were in L.A. and this guy was jerking off next to us, and my friend Cindy was driving, and Elon's like, "What is he doing next to us?" And I go, "He's jerking off. Step on the gas. It's a red light." I go, "Get the fuck!" And I put my foot across the thing, and we went through the red light, and I went up around her because he went through the red light. I go, move, 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 while the car's driving, and I swear to God, true story, I get in the car, I slam the gas. I went through like 50 red lights. He couldn't catch up to me, and we lost him. But he
Wow.
was jerking off in the car.
It's a thing. It's a thing. I'm looking at Adam, just
It's
wondering
like
if
El
he's
Jerk.
had
Adam,
any-
are you jerking
It's jerk
off
off
right now?
al fresco.
Have you ever jerked off in front of
I
women?
wasn't holding this phone.
No, it's one thing. Look, it's one thing.
Adam wants to jerk off to a bunch of middle-aged women
I doubt it.
complaining.
No, but you know what?
Listen,
It's
I'm-
like sometimes my husband will like, you're in the mood. I'm like, why don't you just jerk off? I'll watch. Now that's fun.
That's different.
Because I don't
That's
really feel like
consensual watching jerking
I'm
off.
really not even watching, but I just want him to get away from me. So that is one,
That's
whatever.
fine.
But
Or your arms are tired
men
that
are
night.
fucking gross. When are you girls gonna understand that? They're freaks.
Wait a minute. You know. Jane, you never had a guy jerk off in front of you?
No.
No weird sexual stories from weird guys?
Come on, Jane. You got
Somebody
some
trying to
under
give
that
you a
hat.
massage at work? None of that stuff?
No.
Maybe not.
This wasn't sexual. This was just, I got harassed. Okay, this is just harassment.
Okay.
Um,
You don't have to tell if you don't.
She is
She
from
needs
Connecticut. You have to
therapy.
You
understand.
can tell she's from Greenwich when she's about to tell the story.
I know she's having a
She's having a
reliving it.
nervous
She's
breakdown.
reliving it.
What did he do to you, Jane?
no, but I want to say I think it's a great public service announcement. What you said is now we have these phones.
Talk louder in here.
Now we have these phones. We actually can record them. I think you just gave the kids a great. If I had a daughter, I would go home and say, you know what Carrie said? You're going to carry this phone with you
And film them.
and just film them. I think okay.
Who would think of that though? At the I wouldn't think of. It's like you're so.
It's so shocking.
It's so
that-
It is shocking.
I mean, I didn't know men masturbated until I was about 2 years into my marriage, so I'm probably not the best person to be looking for this. But I will say, in high school, I worked between Thanksgiving and Christmas, always local department store, folding the sweaters, and this guy did box me in the back. We had very narrow
Oh.
aisles in the back. You had to go in the back. Someone
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
size large instead of medium. And he put up a hand so like I couldn't go by.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, for I was like 16, 17. And
How old was he?
I
Like a
was
grown
He
man?
was like, well, to me, a grown man, 20s.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
but
yeah.
not like junior in high school.
Yeah.
And so he put up one hand, and then I'm there like, I gotta go, and and then he put up the other hand, and I just felt so unsafe. I've
Yeah.
never even relived this. I've never. Okay, I hope you're not listening, Ken.
PTSD.
Haha. Mom's fine. Okay, I mean your wife. Okay, whoever. And all I remember saying to him was, my father works for the FBI. And he dropped his hands, and I was out of there. I just ran like hell.
I guess your father doesn't really work for the FBI.
No, he really worked for the
Oh,
FBI.
he worked for the
Oh,
FBI?
yeah.
That was a good thing.
That's
to say.
Yeah, no.
That's like saying my dad can beat up your dad.
That's
but
better than the cell phone.
All right, so
Yeah,
we
your-
have
your
two
kid-
public service
My
announcements.
father's a cop, and he's gonna blow your balls off.
I know that is what you need. You need that.
Well, they don't know that. I don't think it's a federal crime, though. It needs to be a federal crime.
What's
for
not a
the
federal
FBI thing.
crime?
Sounds very
Jerking off?
dirty, though.
What?
Blow your
Blowing
balls off.
Yeah. So now, let's talk about the Louis thing.
Right.
Had you guys heard
I
Louis
had
C.K.
I had
rumors?
I heard the rumors. There was a website called New York City Female Comics. It was a group on Facebook.
I never heard of this.
And you had to be invited in, and a few people had invited me into it. And when it happened, like that weekend, somebody had posted about it, and they had, and it was a rumor, but they had. They disbanded.
Was
that
it the
site.
two girls at the
From Aspen? Somebody was friends with them.
Oh,
or
that was
something.
at Aspen because there was also someone at the other.
It was part of the
Montreal.
I thought I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
It was one of the. It was the big festival.
Okay,
that happened
all right.
at, the one that wound up in the Times.
Oh,
But-
okay.
So, but what happened was that site was really great because women would say, about who's sleazy at what club and who to watch out for.
Oh, really?
But what happened was we're our own worst enemy. And I'm just going to tell you, girls, sometimes you are. And what they did was they were taking screenshots and showing it to Guy Comics, and so they disbanded it because it couldn't. It was causing grief.
Oh,
for
because it
people.
was supposed to be
It was
for
supposed to be
just the
for
girls.
It was supposed to be a safe space.
And why would the girls show it to the boys?
Because they're assholes.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe they were showing it to the boys to say, "Look what the boys are doing." I don't know.
But I
then-
remember reading about Louis then, and I was thinking, like, I hope it's just a rumor. But it's so funny. Like, my husband loves Louis, and he's like, my husband's like sitting shiva for Louis. It's like his favorite.
Well,
comic.
okay, now let's just say Louis. This was back how many years ago?
That was 10 years ago.
Okay.
The first thing.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
When he jerked off in front of the girl.
That one, but there's
Okay.
five. There's five
Okay.
women who've come forward.
Was she held to gunpoint?
There were 2 girls in a room.
They thought they'd be safe. He asked them back up to his
Right,
room.
and then
there were
what?
2 of them.
And what happened?
They thought they'd
He
be
then
safe.
said, "Would you mind if I take out my dick?"
And what they said?
Which I just want to pause there and say the question itself is obscene.
No,
He
I
should
know.
say, can I have permission to ask you something obscene? Because that in itself just say.
But wait, but the minute you go back into a man's room,
See,
what do you
but there
think
were
we're
two
doing?
of
not
them.
in comedy.
Are we
Comedy
playing?
people
No,
do
not
Are we
in
share.
comedy.
playing Monopoly? Are we playing Monopoly, or am I blowing you? That's what you go to the
Listen,
room
these
for.
were
listen to me.
comics.
No, I'm friends with Joe Bronzy. We went to a movie, and I remember we went back to his room to get some or do something
Joe
before
Bronzy?
we went to the movies. I'm not blowing Joe Bronzy.
Okay, well, I
And Joe
wouldn't either.
Bronzy isn't trying to blow me or whatever they do to you. But
It's your house while you're working.
yeah, we were hanging out, and I've been in his room, and you know what I mean. But we weren't like sitting on his
Okay,
bed.
but she could. Do you mind if I take out my dick? I do. Okay, bye bye.
Okay,
I don't know.
okay. You know what? That's
Why did she stay?
Okay, let me just say something. Why
I
did
bet
you
they were
stay? That's
shocked.
not a good. That's a question a guy would ask.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Because-
it's not shock. It's you get up and fucking leave. If you say to me, "Can I take out my dick?" I'm gonna say, "No, you can't." Bye.
Okay,
And
that's
I run
you.
out the door.
That's you.
You told the guy, "My father's an FBI agent." You were 16. You had the brains enough. These 2 female comics are trying to get fucking notoriety now.
I don't
No,
know.
I don't.
I
No,
think-
no,
no.
I totally disagree
They said
with you.
something at the time to somebody there, and they got a lot of grief at the festival for saying something.
They look. He asks them to come up to his thing. He says they're going to under the guise
You
of
think it's a fellow
we're
comic.
talking about comedy.
Yeah.
He's got jobs. They think that this is like that
And
kind
it's
of a
2
thing.
of them.
It's 2 of
It's
them,
not
and
one
Not
of them.
alone. They
They
told
said
their
that they didn't think it was going to be anything because it's 2 of them. He's going to
It
try
means
to
you
fuck
went
both
together.
of them.
We're not going to think they want to fuck the 2 of us.
Exactly.
He didn't force himself
Thank you for
on
getting
them.
I would go second.
He did not force himself on them.
Yeah, but
Yes, he did.
yeah, I think that he did because he put them in a position
Right.
where what are they supposed to do? Like first
Leave!
of all, no. First of all,
That
I
I
think
agree
it's
with.
so.
If you're
That
that
I
dumb,
agree
if
with.
your kid is that fucking dumb, my kid right now is 11. Would you tell him to go fuck himself and leave? Don't tell me you're that dumb. How old
think-
were these
I think
girls?
some of these
Come
girls are
on.
sure-
He ruined his whole career because 12 years ago. I mean,
No, but there were
2
more.
girls.
No, it's a lot more than that, Carrie. It's not 2 girls, and it's not 12
Well, he
years
was
ago.
a
There's-
little creepy.
There's other women that have done it. Also, you know, Joe Moffa writes to me, he goes, you know, I worked with him, and he did a joke about exposing himself to a retarded girl on stage, and like Joe Moffa goes, you know, I can't help
Maybe
but
it
think.
wasn't a joke.
I know that's what he said. I'm starting to
but-
think maybe,
so maybe he
that's
is-
like a fucked up joke.
He's twisted, but he asked them first. So I don't see why these girls couldn't have left.
Why should you put up with someone asking you that if it's somebody at it?
It's
First
a
of all,
power thing.
first of all, he did it to a girl at his job where they were working. It was at an office area, and he said to the woman, "Hey," he goes up to her up in the hallway, and he leans into her, and goes, "Hey, I'd like to, like to look at my dick, and I'd like to jerk off, and blah blah." Okay,
And what'd she say?
she said no.
Okay, and then she left.
Why should she put
But
up
did she
with
leave?
that? That's what he asked her to do it. Like, but why should someone put up with
Well, he
that
was
from
asking.
It's an indecent proposal. It's rude.
you go.
Would you want somebody to say that to your mother? Would you like somebody to go up to your mom and say, "Hey, can I jerk off in front of you, lady? Would you like to watch me pull it?"
It's
fucked
disgusting.
up.
It's
It
a
is
power play.
disgusting.
It's a
I
power play
agree.
for women.
I mean, you're strong, but think of somebody who's not
You're
strong in how you
Carrie.
feel.
What about
You're
someone
right.
who's starting out in the business, who's 20 years old or 21, and they're like, "Oh my God, Louis C.K. is
Not
so
everybody's
good."
gonna be as
and
strong as
he's
some
gonna
people.
like those kind of women aren't like you, Carrie. I'm just saying.
You're a powerful woman, but like not everybody is. Not
All
everybody.
right, you guys think what harassment's been around since the beginning of time, all right? They stripped him of everything now. You think that's fair?
I think what he did was disgusting.
I think what he did was what about
All
the
right,
girls?
but
Is
now
that
his
fair
whole
what he
career-
did to the girls?
But now his whole career is over. Everything that he had, everything is done. It's over. He's not going to be able to do anything at this point. You think it's fair?
I actually think he's going to make a comeback. I think it's got to lay down for 5 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a Mel Gibson. It's going to take a long time.
Here's what I think. They all come back. All these
Pee Wee
shit-
Herman came back, and all he did was jerk off in private, and somebody saw him across the theater doing
No,
it.
Well, it wasn't in private.
private.
It was in public at the
It was
movie
in
theater.
a smut film.
Excuse me. I'm saying, but he wasn't like showing. He didn't do it to show somebody. He was just
a
jerking
lot of
off
guys
at
do it in those movies.
Yeah.
Well, look at Marv Albert, who like
He never came back.
Marv Albert did come back.
Oh, he did?
He's had sex with that woman in the ass, and he bit her in the back, and she complained. You remember this crazy story? With
Patty
Marv
has a
Albert?
PhD in this.
What do I remember? I'm a savant. I remember all these fucking stories. But he came back, and I'm like, fucking Marv Albert. They let him back on the air after he bit the woman and fucked her in the ass.
The pedophiles that do 17 months and then they're back in real fucking world when they should be castrated for fucking touching a little kid.
Well, here's the problem with that is, yes, pedophiles, it's all terrible, but you take almost every pedophile has had that happen to them when they're little. It's like horrible, but most of them are victims also. Like even the Kevin Spacey thing, Kevin Spacey's brother said that Kevin Spacey's, that his father, Kevin Spacey's father and the brother's father had raped the brother when he was a little kid, but repeatedly for years and years and years. So who knows what he did to Kevin Spacey? Kevin Spacey said that his father never did do anything to him, and he said, well, I don't know about my brother. That's what my brother says. But even if he did nothing to you, that's Kevin Spacey's father, just knowing that he was banging your brother has got to fuck with your head and make you interested in sexually in a perverted way. Also, can I just bring up another thing about Kevin Spacey? Like everybody, the whole thing, like the minute, like people going, I can't believe that one person says something about Kevin Spacey and he loses his job, like, innocent till proven guilty. But Carol Montgomery told me that her husband, Todd's mother.
Fuck Kevin Spacey?
No. Todd's mother.
She's hysterical.
She is. Todd's mother taught singing classes, and she taught singing to Kevin Spacey. Wow. And she wouldn't let, and at the time, Todd was a little boy and his brother, and she would not let him, Todd, and his brother around Kevin Spacey because she knew all the rumors about him. So in other words, these rumors have been around so long in Broadway so that, the minute they actually he gets caught, then they get rid of him right away. But they knew the rumors. Everyone knew the rumors. So
well, a lot of those old-time actors were gay, closeted, and they would have little boys brought to their fucking dressing rooms, and all that bullshit went down in Hollywood. You
that was
know
bad.
all that shit.
Well, that's like the
Men are freaks!
It is freaky. Corey Haim,
Wait. Can I just say
Go
one thing? Tell us your story.
What's my story?
Your fucking story with Louis C.K.
Oh, Louis C.K.
Oh, you wrote about that.
Okay, well, here's the thing about Louis C.K. Like, like everyone goes, oh, it's such a shame because Louis C.K. is such a genius, a genius. And I'm like thinking, I never got it with this guy. Like, I never thought he was funny. But I said in the post, like, maybe I didn't think he was funny because he called me a cunt. Like, the thing is, once
So you don't like him.
someone calls me a cunt, they are no longer funny to me. Yeah. But, I watched that show, Lucky Louie or Louie, whatever, all the Louie shows, and I gave each one a chance. I watch it, and I'd be like, what the fuck? This show is not funny to me. I don't understand this show. But anyway, what happened was at the comic strip, I'm on that stage, I get done. Louis C.K.'s up. This is before he was super famous, but he had done Pootie Tang, I guess, at that point. So I'm leaving. I'm going out. I'm leaving. And somebody comes up to me. I don't know if it's the waiter or one of the guy comics. He goes, Patty, you better get out there. You better get out there. Louis is saying some shit about you. I go,
yeah, but that's because you had done the little dick joke.
And I had done this joke previously about my red pubic hair joke. I go, I don't even know what the red is.
It's about a guy with red pubic hair. It's not a nice setting for a dick.
It's an ugly setting for a penis, And then how does it go?
I expect the penis to go.
The sun will come out tomorrow, and I just do the stupid song, and it's so ugly. And so so he went on after me. I didn't know a redheaded Louis C.K. was coming on after me doing the redheaded pubic hair joke. So anyway,
redheads are the most bullied children of all children.
Well, maybe I set something off in him.
Maybe that's why he's jerking off in front of everybody.
It's me. Mea culpa. No, so I'm walking out, and they go, get in there. He's calling you a cunt. I go, what do you mean he's calling me a cunt? Louis C.K., I'm friends with Louis C.K. What do you mean he's calling me a cunt? And he goes, I'm telling you, he goes, not just a cunt. He's saying horrible things about you. I'm like, what horrible, what could he be saying? He goes, go look. So I come in the back room. Before I go out there, I want to make sure this guy's not, making it up. And I'm watching him, and he's going, Patty Rossborough, I want to fuck her, that cunt. He goes, and it was like this long rant. He goes, I'm going to take my cock, I'm going to shove it down her throat. I hope she chokes on my cock, and my red pubes are going to be choking in her mouth. And he's saying all this stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was so
What a charmer. I would have screamed and said, didn't you hear I don't like red dick? I don't like red dick.
So I walk around into the showroom, and I put my fists up like the Fighting Irish, like the
Right,
little
like you're
leprechaun,
kidding. Like you're kidding.
like I'm sort of
But
kidding,
he's
but I'm
serious.
sort of not kidding, because it's like, stop
Right.
fucking talking about me like
Yeah.
this and making me. So I put my hands up, and I go up right to the foot of the stage, and I go and I say to him, you let's go, like I'm gonna punch him, like I'm gonna beat him up.
She's about 100 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah, I
this
know,
way.
and you
And
know that.
that's when he pulled out his dick and started jerking off.
No. So he goes, come here. And he leans down and whispers in my ear. He goes, look, it's just so humiliating with the red pubic hair. And they started to chant
he
stuff
starts
to me.
backing down.
But only to me, not to the audience. He goes, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
So he's really insecure.
So I said, all right, fine. And then I walked out. And the audience is like, whoa. But then when I heard the jerking off stories, it didn't surprise me, because that rant about shoving a cock down your throat and choking on the...
But how
it's
big
fucking
was it?
weird.
Was it, for you to call your own dick a cock, it has to have the girth and the size and the length.
Did you-
So don't call your dick a cock if it's not a cock.
Can I just say something? All men call their dicks a cock.
I know, and then they're this big. How do you call that a cock?
They love the sound of it because it got the hard C's,
Right,
and it makes it
okay.
sound more
Louis
powerful.
C.K.
Adam, what do you call yours?
A penis.
A weenie.
A pee-pee.
It's wee wee.
My wee.
Exactly.
All right, but
Right,
anyway.
when you pull it out and I don't hear a thump, don't call it a cock.
Oh, my God.
Wow, Carrie is laying
Carrie's
down
on a
the-
roll.
She is on a roll tonight.
What is it with these men thinking that, like, it's going to turn... Do they think, like, just looking at it's going to make us, like, all of a sudden want them or something?
See, I think that, when they send dick pics, I do think that they think that you're going to go get all horny looking at the dick
Wow.
pic. Yeah, wow, that's really something.
Try flowers.
Yeah, they don't.
Wait, because they don't know we don't tick like them.
Yeah, that's
all
not
my
it.
friends that are on dating websites. They go, the first text is a good one, the second one's a good one, the third one's a dick pic every time. And it's not just one guy; it's like every guy.
Yeah, yeah.
They send their dick in a picture. Like, we don't want to see that disgusting thing, especially if it's uncircumcised.
Oh, this little sweater.
the girl who was on
This little turtleneck.
The girl who was on last week, Fox Danger or Danger Fox, I can't remember. Fox Danger. She had told me before the thing. She said she was on like sites, to meet guys because she's poly, so she's married and she's
Poly means she fucks other guys.
polyamorous. Yeah.
Yes.
So she's trying to meet
I
other
didn't know what
guys,
it meant.
but the guys are like
slut.
the guys. So the first thing they say to her is, "So I get it. You like to fuck," and she's like, "Just because I'm polyamorous doesn't mean that that's how you're supposed to talk to like why do they think that that's how that's going to turn you on?" Goes, "So you like to fuck," because that's what turns them on. Like if a girl said to them, "So you like to fuck," they'd be like, "Woo," But with a woman, that's not okay, maybe they wouldn't go woo. But that's not how the woman goes.
if your husband or your boyfriend who you love says it to you, then you're like, woo. But if it's a fucking stranger, you're
That's
like,
right.
get lost, freak.
Exactly. But anyway, just to go back to Louis for 2 minutes, I think that anytime you're in the work area or anything, like you're a young comic and this is what you're dealing with as a young girl comic, that these guys are doing this, I think it's fucked up. And you know what? If he never came back, it would be fine with me. And also, I will tell you another thing. I haven't watched a Woody Allen movie since he fucked Soon Yi.
I never
and
watched it
since-
before he fucked
Okay,
Soon
but
Yi.
I did used to watch his movies. But to me, Woody Allen is dead to me. To me,
He's gross.
Louis C.K. is dead to me.
I was creeped out with Manhattan when he was like
That was
40 years old with a
right.
17-year-old girl. It was making me sick. It was
It's
Mary Lou-
weird.
He was off. It was something. You know what's so weird though? When these like Kevin Spacey, not that I used to look at him and say, "There's something creepy
There's
about
something
him."
always,
and
that's why he
and
played
I've-
creepy guys.
And Louis, when he would do, there was one show that Louis did on his show that was on FX where he was jerking off recently. And it was like, couldn't he allude to it? Did I really have to see his red face and his hand moving like that? They didn't show his
Oh, I
dick.
didn't even see
but
that.
But it was, my husband didn't think anything of it, but I was like kind of nauseous from it. It was like,
Yeah.
And I said, maybe I'm getting old, like this would bother me, but it's like, no, I really don't want to see a man whacking off. It just.
A lot of men
Maybe
really
that's-
like him.
Maybe now he'll never whack off again after this.
No, that's
think
not
that's-
going to stop him. You know, they go, they're going to go away. They're going to get treatment. Treatment. I use air quotes for treatment. But I don't know why. You think that's going to work?
Well, you know, doctors have done studies as to why men flash and stuff. You know,
Why?
They say it's an aggression against women.
I think it is.
It's a disdain and a revenge move.
Right.
So I was thinking to myself, what is he revengeful for women? What does he have? What's his anger? And I think
Maybe because they never liked him.
I think the anger was that these girls were kind of cute, and maybe the only way they would come to his room is because he was Louis C.K. That they wouldn't like him for him. So you know that he was like that was his revenge. Like, yeah, you think I'm going to help you with your career? Here, take this instead.
But
Yeah,
he
it's
has
very
helped
hostile.
people with their careers.
Yeah, guys.
No, he hooked
No,
up
he
Lynn
helped
Coplitz.
Tig. He helped Tig Notaro
She wants
He's
nothing to
helped
do with
a lot
him.
of people, right, Deb?
later.
But then Tig Notaro tried to separate herself from
Yeah.
him. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Or maybe
Yeah.
because he jerked off
She-
on her.
yeah,
But
she
an
did on her
episode.
show a whole
Yeah,
thing
she did
about
an
that.
episode
Yeah,
about
she
it.
did. And she said, now it's time for Louis to address the rumors. And he said, I don't know what she's talking about. He denied it. He denied it. The only time he said that he did it was after the New York Times article came out. So people like on Facebook and everything else, they're like going, well, at least he admitted he did it. Well, you know, okay, he apologized. Let's move on. Yeah, he apologized and he admitted he did it because he had to, because his career is going to go down the shitter if
His
he
movie's
doesn't.
not being released. They're
That's
not-
right. It's like
Everything
his
is gone.
management left him, you know, so
Yeah.
of course he has to apologize. But I think it's terrible. See, you don't think it's that terrible, Carrie?
it's not that I don't think it's that terrible. I already know men are freaks. I've always known they were freaks. But when
Not
when
all men.
most of them.
I think there are a lot of great
Not
guys.
all men.
A lot of great
The
guys.
1%.
A lot. There are a
My
lot.
son.
You know what? My son said something so smart. He goes, you know, men are animals. He says, Mom, they're animals. He says, you love our dog, Sammy. We have a wonderful little dog, Sammy. He's the most adorable dog. But when you get him around a female dog, he acts like an animal. And he said, and some men can't turn it off. The animal comes out.
Right.
I said, it's not excusing it, you know, but, you know, and, you know what it is? But women, and I think women are getting, I think it's since Trump, to be quite honest. With
given
him
them
getting away with all
permission.
the bullshit
Yeah.
that he did, that
so,
women
yeah.
are feeling like maybe if we had stepped forward about this sooner, this jerk off wouldn't be in office right now. But we've been like navigating our lives around men, like, you know, okay, I'm going to avoid this situation. Maybe I won't go to that place. When there's men that act certain ways, I was supposed to, Bob Levy, Reverend Bob Levy.
Yeah, he eats blue cheese out of the assholes.
really filthy comic. I always
He's
enjoyed
funny.
Bob. I always enjoyed Bob.
He's funny. He's
and
a nice,
he gave me a break. He introduced me to Andy Scarpati
Very-
and
yeah.
got me
Nice
at the comedy.
guy.
It was very nice to me, and he said to me, "I'm going to help you." He was very nice. And then I went to a show where I went backstage, and he had his Animal House tribe of guys back
Yeah.
there, and the girls are showing their tits, and people are and
Oh,
people.
yeah.
And he looked at me with this like kind of like this really
Sorry.
is so, like I'm sorry about these animals here. And the bottom line was he couldn't really help me because I couldn't be. He didn't feel I was a buzzkill for these guys.
Yeah.
It was a locker room, and it was easier to have me not there than to change them.
Yeah.
And that's why guys move ahead a little faster because they get to be in certain environments, and we have to like kind of put up with them and pretend they don't bother us or decide they're not going to bother us. And who gives a fuck? You're a bunch of animals.
They've ruined the planet.
Yeah,
Did you
they
see-
peed all over it. You
But
know?
that's what's her name was. Carol Montgomery was saying. She was on a radio show this morning, and she said that she thought it had to do with Trump. It's almost like Trump is this big umbrella over the country,
Yeah.
and he's getting away with all this, you know, sexual harassment, and there are allegations against him that, you know, and even his ex-wife had said that he had violently raped her, and then, you know, she changed her tune after.
he read her a big check.
If
check cleared.
the $16 million divorce settlement and the gag order. So then all of a sudden she changed her mind. But she had said, and that was in papers, that he had violently raped her because she had, this is the crazy story.
The hair.
She had recommended him going to a doctor for his scalp to make the scalp pull together for his bald spot. So what they do is they slice down the middle,
Oh my
they cut
God.
the skin, then they stitch it up so you don't have a bald spot anymore.
Oh my God.
So he went to this person, he got the procedure done. It hurt like crazy, and he said, it's hurting me, and blah, blah, blah. And then he evidently threw her down
Pulled her
and,
hair.
and pulled a chunk of her hair out, raped her, and he said, there.
Like Ike
and
Turner.
And he said,
Same
now,
thing.
does that hurt? Now, how do you hurt? You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, it doesn't seem like a made-up story to me, but I'm just saying.
How about the 13-year-old girl with that guy Epstein and the sex parties? That guy went to jail, and he's a known sex offender now for the rest of his life. And Trump talks about going out with him. He goes, "Oh, he likes girls a little bit on the young side for my taste." I mean, but she was a poor girl. She's 43 now. She tried to try to get a lawyer, try to have a case about it, but they wouldn't give her government assistance on the lawyers, and they wound up getting thrown out twice. But she tried.
Yeah.
And but maybe if some lawyer had come ahead and said I was going to take, where was Gloria Allred when you need her?
Fuck Gloria Allred. I will tell you why. When I had my case, and I'm not allowed to talk about my case, but I tried to get a lawyer, and it was very hard to get a lawyer. And guys didn't want to take my case, some of them. So I called Gloria Allred's thing, and I said, hey, I need someone to represent me. They go, and the woman was so rude to me. She goes, we're in California. We're not in New York. I go, yeah, okay. I go, but I'm sure you must know some lawyers in New York who could help me out and some names or someone. She goes, absolutely not. And I was like, fuck you, Gloria. Plus, Gloria Allred's daughter is the one that was going to handle Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
So much for her being this big, but anyway, she left Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
But I don't know if that's because, did she leave her or did leave him, or did Harvey Weinstein fire her?
She left him.
Oh, she left him.
Wasn't
Okay.
she the woman who also was the lawyer for Kathy Griffith when she came out?
I don't know.
Griffin.
I never know if it's a Griffin or a Griffith.
Yeah.
It's a Griffin.
It's a nothing now.
Well, see, she's somebody who kind of lost
She's
her
crawling
career.
back, yeah.
I
think she got overpunished.
She went to Europe.
Yeah, she's in Europe touring.
I mean, I never thought the bloody head thing was funny, and I feel like she does a lot of
It
shit.
had nothing to do with Trump. It had to do with the whole
it
people
was the
who
photo shoot.
the whole beheading thing, acting like it's okay to behead, and like it's not even a joke.
Yeah, I didn't think it was
people who actually watch their kid get beheaded on the
I thought it was terrible. I honestly thought it was terrible.
Don't find it funny.
I don't think it was funny.
It was disgusting, but
are you a fan of hers aside from that? Like, did
No.
you watch? Okay.
I never liked her.
Carrie doesn't mince words.
She tried so hard to be Joan Rivers, and she couldn't be.
That's
Joan
a good
there's-
insight.
There's one Joan Rivers. And
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
She was the D-list, like she said.
Did you guys ever meet Joan Rivers?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Was she nice to
She
you?
was extremely nice to me. I was with Adam Sank, who I was mentioning before. We went to the cutting room. The cutting room.
Yeah, she
to
used to do
see her,
shows at the cutting room.
And she was amazing. She had her big oak tag on the stage with her jokes because she was working out new material.
she put them on the floor.
On the
Yeah.
floor, and we waited outside like two little groupies, and Adam had yellow roses for her. And I went up to her. I was doing comedy 2 years, and I go, I'm an aspiring comedian. And she goes, I can tell just by looking at you, you're funny. And then she says, she gave me a kiss on each cheek, and I was
Really?
like,
Oh my
it was
God.
the most wonderful. And she didn't look like she had all the plastic surgery, but she was beautiful. She
Really?
didn't look like Joan, but whoever she was, she looked good. You know, it was
Debbie and I met her through Lynn, because Lynn used to work on her show
Oh,
with
yeah.
her. She gave us a gift. I still have
Aw.
it. It was your birthday.
What you're talking to the microphone because we can't hear you.
It was my birthday, and we went to. Lynn was on her show at the time. They were working together, and Carrie and I went with Lynn, and my sister flew in because
Right?
she wanted to meet
Yes,
Joan.
we were all there.
And we all went to go see Joan, and then afterwards
She
we
was
went
great.
backstage. She had birthday. It was my birthday. She had presents for all of us. She was amazing.
Yes, she
And we
did.
also, I remember saying like 7 stupid things. I said like 7
We took a
stupid
great
things.
picture with her.
Yeah, we took an amazing picture with her, and I remember I said to her like, "Thank you so much for all you've done." And then later I saw her in an interview going, "I hate when people say thank you for what I've done."
But wait.
What about what I'm doing now? And I was like, "Oh, I think I said that." Yeah,
But you know what? She was watching her perform was like she
Yeah.
was a fucking spitfire. She was,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
She was what,
She was getting
80?
heckled,
How
and she
old was
was-
she?
She was
What'd they say when they
76, I
heckled her?
think.
What'd they say?
Somebody said something. She goes, I've been doing this 40 years. You think they're here to listen to you?
Right.
Like she just.
but she was
Yeah.
so sharp. It
Yeah.
was like, shh, shh, shh.
I love the commitment. I saw her at the duplex. It's like a
At the
70-seat
duplex?
thing.
How did you get into that show?
It was just people sent around and said she's going to be there. You make a donation. She would always give the money to like In God's Love We Deliver or somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
And it changed my comedy.
Why?
Because I saw her just, it's not a big space. It's, about 2 of these rooms. She was just prowling around that stage, and she just owned the whole
owned
stage.
it.
She's so all I went away with was the commitment.
Yeah.
The commitment, and it just
and her
put
body.
more.
She
Yeah,
used
the
her
whole
body.
thing.
Like she came out. She
Her
put her
whole
arm
instrument.
Out. She filled the room.
Well, that's what they say, when people are small, when they're little, one way to make yourself seem bigger is put your arms out. And always when she
Oh.
came out, just to physically give yourself more
Oh, I
power
will
is to
do
put
that.
your arms out. And she always did that. And the other thing I was shocked
Or
by.
your dick. One of them.
Okay,
A callback, Carrie
Okay.
Carabas. High
And she had
five.
that truck driver walking.
She
looked
always.
like a.
It was so weird, her little walk and
Yeah.
everything. But I was shocked when I met her backstage because what's his name? Brad Zimmerman opened for her. And he,
Yeah.
And then he tried to get money off of her.
What do you mean he tried to get
Didn't
money
he
off
say
of her?
after she died, he was like, he wrote all her, like he started
What are you
saying,
talking about? I never
No,
heard this.
no. I
Brad
doubt it.
Zimmerman.
Larry-
I can't remember
Larry
now.
Ambrose wrote a lot of her jokes.
No, I know, but Brad Zimmerman started. I think he wrote a book saying something about Joan. I can't remember now. Now it's not in my head, but I remember. I remember him going around saying he wrote all her stuff, and
Are you sure?
I remember she used to say that
Is-
you're the best comedian in your price range.
Oh, yeah, that's what she would
I
call
always
him.
like that one.
Yeah, when I met her, though, she was so teeny, and she didn't have her high heels on when he brought me backstage to talk to her. And she just was like a little petite, teeny weeny person, but she had all
The
that plastic
intensity.
surgery done. And it was like a month before she died when I saw her, or maybe 2 months, but did I tell the story about, I did, right, about Johnny Carson, that she told me about Johnny Carson? No, I didn't. She goes to me, I go, Joan, you're so great. She goes, stop. And I go, no, really, I go, you're my hero. She goes, oh, please, but I really wanted her to know that because I just decided, I've met you before, I've told you, blah, blah, blah. And the first thing she says to me, she goes, you read Johnny Carson, the book about Johnny Carson, the biography of him? And I go, I haven't read it yet. It just come out. She goes, I've been vindicated. The guy's a prick. That's the first thing. That's the first thing she says to me.
She couldn't wait to get that
She
out.
couldn't wait to tell me. Like, she wanted me to tell. And I'm like, really? I go, well, she goes, oh, you got to read the book. He was horrible. She goes, he had been horrible to me. She goes, and everyone sided with him, and everyone thought I was so terrible. She goes, but you read this book, and you'll see that really I've been vindicated. I go, well, I can't wait to read it now, and blah, blah, blah. And she was very sweet, and I met her.
Did you read it?
I did read it, and it makes him out to be kind of it's written by his lawyer who had been fired by him. So this is a
My husband read that
disgruntled
book.
employer. It really makes you think Johnny Carson was like a complete alcoholic, a misogynist, not a good guy. Like he did a lot of bad
Had a
things.
lot of women.
Yeah, and cheated
Probably
on all his
jerked off in
wives,
front of
and
them.
probably. But but he did have issues with
I think
his
Ed did that, not
with
him.
his mother. Like his mother, kind of, which was very cold to
Cold
him.
fish, yeah.
Cold, and could never tell him it's great what you did and congratulations. And he said that they did talk about after she died, he opened up this box under her bed and had all the clippings and it made him he was he couldn't believe it. He wished
would
that
brag
she had
to other
said
people
something to
about him,
him,
but not to him.
when he was alive.
That's how my family is.
What do you mean? Who? Your mother? Your sister?
My mother, my brother.
What do they say? They don't say you're funny?
My mother now, I had it out with them one day. I go, you have never once said, wow, what you do, you're a comedian, you're an amazing comedian. Never once. I go, did any of you ever say that? And then my brother will never, ever say that to me. And then he'll tell people about my mother. She's a great comedian. She's a great comedian. But I sent him a clip, that little clip that was on. And
It was
I
a
sent
great
it
From
clip.
Long Island. Great
It was
clip.
your whole body.
And
I
you know
loved
what
it.
his comment was? Wow, they were really with you. That's the extent.
That's what you say when you don't think someone's funny. You go, whoa, I guess they liked you. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a real...
Well, they were really with you.
The real compliment is, wow, you're so funny. You
Well,
did great.
He can't muster that out.
Well, we're telling you that.
Who is your biggest fan, Carrie? Is it one of your kids? Or a sister?
No.
A friend?
Manny Arias.
Oh, I love your
That's my
Manny. I've
biggest-
never met him. Every time I hear about him when you do the podcast, I love that Manny. And then when I saw that
great.
he'd done the video, I just thought, oh,
He's my biggest fan.
everybody needs a Manny.
Everybody needs one. But you know what's great about Manny? He's slightly retarded, but here's what's great about Manny.
God bless.
He is a very positive,
devoted.
positive person. So he's
Yeah.
always putting positive things up.
Yeah.
He does a lot of great things for the veterans. He does Project
He's
Nine
a
Lives.
vet. He's a vet.
He's a vet, so he does Private Nine Lives. Whatever, it's a comedy thing for all vets.
Right.
And he went up to the Mohegan with that.
Right.
He did one at Nassau Coliseum. So he's always doing good stuff, and he's projecting positivity.
But you've encouraged him, which is really sweet.
Yes, I do encourage him, and
Yeah.
I
She took him under
I
her
love
wing.
when people take
I have
the
a
little
big
ones
wing.
under the wing.
She does. She gets homeless people, apartments. She's like, she does things that, would never do.
I have a male comic that it's nice that you can't live a positive life around negative people. You need
Right, you got to stay away from negativity.
Yeah. So
Get
my
rid of
friend Tim Hayes, I mean, he's like,
Oh yeah, he opens for you a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
You take-
and now the beast has gotten. I think he's getting funnier than me. So it's like
gotta move on.
I'm going to be opening for him pretty soon. So, but it's nice. It makes you feel good when you can help somebody.
Yeah.
God knows
I
this
did
business
a
is
lot.
so
I
hard.
helped a lot of women in the business because I knew that the women weren't getting the fair shake. I helped Corey Kahaney. I used to get her spots. I helped
You
Lisa,
did?
Lisa Lepinelli. I got her in the comic strip.
Wow.
Not the comic strip. I got her in the Cellar, and I got her at Dangerfields.
You helped me. That's how we met.
What did she do for you?
Carrie and Lynn Coplitz took me under their wing. I'd been doing stand-up for 8 years. I couldn't
Sweet.
get anything going, and they
Traction's
were
hard.
both like, "You don't have a voice yet." And the three of us took a trip together to Italy. And, and
That was a fun trip.
Yeah.
Oh, we
And
don't
it
want to
was
talk
like-
about that. A lot of jerking off on that trip.
yes, Carrie could not stop jerking off.
It was a great trip.
Yeah, but that whole trip, I was like, all right, Carrie's like at this end of the spectrum, and I was like, I am over here.
Right. We were complete. Like
complete opposites.
I'm right. We had a. Can I tell them about the bet we had?
The bed?
You can't.
The bet. The
no,
bet.
wait, you have to also tell them about you and sitting in the cockpit.
I will.
Okay.
Here's the bet. We wrote down 5 guys'
Silence
names.
laugh.
We wrote down 5 guys' names, and we said whoever makes out with the first, all 5 names first wins.
Bingo.
Wins something. So we had Mario, Luigi,
It was like
Antonio,
bunch of
all these
Italian-
dumb
Marco.
and mind you, those are American Italian names. When you
Right.
get to Italy, no one has these fucking
Oh.
names.
What are the Italian names in Italy?
They're like I don't know, but
Vincenzi.
Bruno and
Pietro.
none of them were on our list. Mario does not exist in Italy. So all of a sudden we're on the plane, and I jump in the cockpit, and we're all in the cockpit.
That
Now
was
this
back
is
in the day, you could,
before
yeah.
9/11.
Oh.
You were in the cockpit?
I was in
All
the cockpit.
And Carrie was like sitting on the pilot's lap with his hat on her head, with his like his pilot hat on her head. I was like, we're all gonna
On
die.
video, and I videotaped it.
You did videotape.
And I go to him, what's your name? He goes, Marciano. I go, that's close enough. That's close enough to
You
marry.
made out with him?
I didn't make out with him because it wasn't the name. They were like, no, no, no. So now we get to Italy, and I get the fucking flu.
Oh.
We got 3 cot beds this big. They're like army cot beds.
Oh,
There's
dear.
no, I've got snot running out of my face, and every Italian man is drop dead gorgeous. Every one of them. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
I've been to Italy. They are gorgeous. They grab your ass the whole time.
I don't care.
I'm just saying.
So I'd go to him, what's your name? And it wouldn't be the name, and I'd make out with him anyway. So it turned out that I made out with the most guys, and she goes to me, what did you say to me? You have snot running down your face.
I'm like, look at you. You're like disgusting, and they're still like tonguing you down. But you picked up the guy at the Vatican.
Yes.
And
Wow.
and Carrie's on the phone with him, and he speaks no English, and she's like,
The Pope?
you pick some guy in like a booth selling trinkets,
Vatican,
right?
no, Vatican
the
tickets.
Vatican Museum.
Yes.
And she goes,
To get
I
in
hear
the
her on the phone,
Vatican.
she goes, you come here and you take a dulce, like a shower, because you smell. You come here, you take a dulce, you pick us up at El Seveno.
Yeah, I remember that. And they came and got us. They took us to a restaurant. They were this big.
Restaurant,
They
we
were
got
this
into a
big.
car.
We got into a
with
car
bunch
with
of
these
guys.
2 little guys.
Lynn
two
was like dying.
Okay, we gotta get you a mic. Because I can't keep holding.
I'm screaming.
You gotta come down here.
No,
Come
it's
down
okay.
here and move here.
I know, I didn't want to interfere.
No, no.
The Italy story is too much.
No, I know.
But anyway, it was a fun trip. None of us got laid. We
She almost got us killed.
I almost got us
Like,
killed.
Are we going to a restaurant or a shallow grave with these
He goes like
Italian
this.
men?
Yeah.
That's
So
okay.
in any event, in any event, get a hold of it.
It's okay.
So in any event, we all had a great time. I made out with the most guys. Debbie made out with the 2 names, so she ended up winning. But they gave me the prize because I was the
Because
guy,
she was the biggest hoa.
and I gave everybody the flu.
Wow.
all of Italy. All of Rome
All
had
of
the
Italy
flu.
got the flu.
Not the clap, but the flu.
The flu.
When I was in Italy, the guys, and it was also at the, what is it called? St. Peter? What is
The
it?
Vatican.
The Vatican. So I'm in the Vatican, and we're inside, and we're looking at, where the dead popes are buried inside
The
the
fingers.
Yeah, all the things.
All the saints.
So this guy comes up to me, and I'm 16, and he sits. Did I tell this story? He sits next to me, and he's like, I would like to take you to my villa. And I'm like, oh my God, really? And I'm all by myself because I didn't want to climb up. There's this stairway thing you can climb, but I had claustrophobia, so everybody went and they left me downstairs. And he's like putting his arm around me. He was, of course, very sexy in Italian. He's like 30, and I'm 16, and he wants to take me away. He goes, let's go now. Let's go before your friends come back. And I go,
before your parents come back.
And then he gives me his phone number, and I'm like thinking, oh my God. And then he goes, you want to come with me now? And I'm like, no, I can't. I got to wait for my food.
My father and mother are up there.
I didn't know what to say.
I'm 12.
And I wear literally knee socks. I see pictures of myself like that.
Oh, my
knee
God.
socks and loafers and my hair in the low pigtails, back in the 70s. So I took the phone number, and I remember thinking, should I call him? I kept the phone number even after I went back to America because I thought, maybe maybe I'm good. Like, I thought I might be in love with him. Can you imagine if I had gone with this pedophile? What the fuck this guy would have done?
What's his name? Ted Bundy?
I don't know.
Roy Moore.
But he was beautiful. Beautiful,
Oh my
beautiful
God, they're all
Italian
beautiful.
clothes.
The garbage men were gorgeous. I would go to them, give me a piece of trash. They're like, take yourself over there. I'm like, I need garbage. I want to get to the garbage man.
Right. We're talking about how gorgeous the garbage men were every day.
But every guy that I met, I was like, you're bueno, beautiful. Remember I did that to everybody?
They're
Even
beautiful.
the ugly fat
You
guys.
do that in America.
She always fake compliments everyone. Oh, you're gorgeous.
You're gorgeous.
They're not. Italy girls, have you been to Italy? Where you been?
I was supposed to go to Italy this fall, and we had to cancel because of my mom. So that was
Oh,
it
I'm
was like
sorry.
yeah. So I saved 10 pounds. I was going to gain 10 pounds.
No,
so.
you don't gain weight there.
You
Why?
don't. Why? With the
You lose
time
weight.
difference.
No, it's
What is it?
It's the food they don't have as many preservatives and fattening shit in it, and it's all real food. And then you do a lot of walking, so you end up eating a lot more, but losing.
I can gain weight reading a cookbook. I beg to differ.
I'm telling
I'm
you.
telling you. No, really.
I didn't eat.
I was afraid of the food. I really was.
I lost weight in Italy because they put us in with the nun. We had to stay at a, what do you call those
Convent?
things? Convent.
Hostel?
We stayed at a
The
convent.
Jewish girl's getting all the answers.
I
Convent
know
for
what-
$400.
I can't think of words. It was a convent, and they gave us every fucking day. We got 2 meals, breakfast and dinner, and every fucking meal, every day for 7 days were these gnocchis or whatever they were with tomato sauce. That was it. No salad, no nothing.
That was
Gnocchi in a bowl
breakfast?
Was breakfast.
No snacks?
And gnocchi in
That's
a,
why those nuns are miserable.
That's what we got every time.
Not even a snack in the middle of the day.
How about you?
Nothing.
No, but nothing
You've
special.
been places.
Yeah, I've been places. I've
Where
lived
you
in
been?
Japan for 5 years.
Oh, you did?
So,
Will you speak Japanese?
Skoshi Nihongo hanasemasu.
Ooh.
But it's not very funny. But Japan's the reason I started comedy because I wrote
What
a
do you
book
mean?
on Japanese women. We moved back.
You wrote a book on Japanese women?
As a previous incarnation. I used to be a responsible person.
I
Worked
can't
for
believe-
Life magazine, right, Jane? You were
And
Life
yeah,
magazine.
I worked for Fortune and Life. No, really.
You did?
I tried to go straight for so long. I didn't get to comedy till I was 37. I started out with Lisa Lampanelli and Jim Gaffigan. We were in the doing Treehouse Wednesday night with the animals.
Really?
Right? And but I couldn't be out every night. You know,
Because you have kids.
yeah. So, and that was the same thing here when I came here. I used to live a few blocks away, and they'd say, "Come and amaze your friends." So I did that. Starla was here.
Oh, yeah, I remember Starla at the
Starla
comic
passed
strip.
Starla didn't pass me. I remember one. Thank you,
She didn't pass a
fucking
lot of
Starla.
people.
It ended there.
I'm still working Starla, but it's okay. Don't worry, I'm over it. Okay, but I still remember Lucian taking me in the side over there, saying, "You know what, Jane? I'm not going to pass you at my club until you start talking about your husband." And I mean, oh, Lucian, but I want to stay married.
Why?
You
What?
know?
What I did want you to talk about your husband? Because your husband's loaded. Is that why?
No.
He's rich. He's
Your husband's rich?
very rich. Jane is very rich.
God.
Jane
does not do the Greenwich blowouts. See, Jane is a Greenwich girl, but she's a Greenwich girl from Brockton,
right,
Massachusetts.
right.
What is
So-
your nationality background?
Irish, Catholic. Same
Irish
as
guy.
that.
So she
You're a
comes
drunk
from this
with
world,
money.
and then she ended up in the world of.
So I'm from a blue collar town, ended up in white collar town, and I'm trying to figure out how to fit in. When I get, but anyway,
Do you have friends there? Do you have those women who blow their hair out all blonde and wear the bracelets, the
the
diamond
people
bracelets?
who blow their hair out all blonde
are here. Yeah, but I'm obviously not a rich one.
It's a desperate cry for help. from blonde.
I wanted to go blonde, but
Who's that rich girl? Does she know her?
Oh, Felicia Madison. Yeah. Now,
oh,
see,
is she rich? I'm not
Sounds like
rich.
a website.
I'm well
I
off,
know.
but she's
well, it's
maybe
like
she's
Ashley
rich.
Madison,
I know,
but that's
she-
not
yeah.
her real name. She has like a
She
Jewish
does the
regular
girl, she
name.
does the girls
Felicia
afternoon
Levy
lunches.
is her name.
Yeah, that's her real
Yeah.
name. Oh, so you do know her. Well, we've done her show
she's
together.
come up. Yeah, we did her lunch.
But like at the lunch, like she'll wear her, 4-inch diamond bracelet.
She has a
And then she'll
beautiful
say,
website.
we only have $150 for the comic. Well, where the fuck is the rest of the money, bitch? You fucking kidding me? You're going to entertain
I think
12
she did-
snotty cunts, and we have $150, $5 a cunt. Fuck you.
I haven't done it.
I'm not sure you're going to be on the list.
I guess I'm not going to be.
She's a newer comic, and I say to myself, she's hiring these women that have
Yeah.
been doing comedy 20 years. It's like,
Yeah.
is this where you want to be in 20 years, getting paid $150?
Here's the deal. What you have to do is you have to ask her for the price you want, because she's booking me on a gig coming up. I asked her for the price I want. I got it.
Good for you.
Oh,
So
good.
that's how you handle it.
Oh, I
you
see.
don't say, if she says, this is what I want to give you, you go, no, I can't take that.
Well, could you buy a Louis Vuitton bag with that? No. All right, exactly. I'm worth more than a Louis Vuitton bag, bitch.
You can't even buy a fake Louis Vuitton bag for that.
I have a fake Louis Vuitton. Oh, she gave me my Louis Vuitton bag.
Oh, you did?
Robin gave me my Louis Vuitton bag.
Oh, wow.
It's a Stewie Vuitton.
But I love it. And
That's me.
it looks like a real. I mean, when I was in, where was I? Ridgefield, getting my nails did. The women in there had bags that looked like that, and I thought, well, those can't be fake ones. So anyway.
But now with this Louis C.K. thing, can you carry the Louis?
Ah.
It's a never full, so I don't know. You can carry anything there. The one she has is called a never full. I love when you see these girls all of 20 years old, living in New York, young, and they're carrying a $1,500 pocketbook. It's like your priorities are. I mean, but they're thin. They're pencil thin, and that's because
Well, they don't eat.
They have
And
no
I
money
could
for whatever-
probably afford one if I didn't eat.
Yeah, they don't eat.
I always thought that was weird, though. But like when I would watch, why can't I think of words? Sex in the City, right? Where all those girls were like buying all these $600 shoes and $1,000 purse.
The red bottom shoe.
Yeah,
Louboutin.
Louboutin, yeah.
I love that line.
Christian
You know how many pairs of shoes you can buy with that?
2.
Yeah, that's Carrie's line.
I love that.
How
was a
much
good
was the
line.
amount of money? $1,500.
Yeah, you know how many shoes you can buy? I fell off the chair. I thought that was
Very funny.
2 pairs. But can I just tell you one
Here's
thing?
the hole.
Let's
Here's
see-
the hole.
I
Sorry, we're all
never
doing a
really-
rack.
I never really liked Louis Vuitton, his style.
Why?
Neither
just
did I.
Too
never-
conservative for you.
It's just ugly.
What, you don't like brown?
I just don't like brown. But
I like it.
I don't like the. He has other colors that are kind of nice.
You probably like the white,
yeah, the
with the
white's
pink.
better, a little uplifting.
the little square
Yeah.
ones, the little cubes.
the cubes.
So I mean, we bought my mother one, and we spent like $3,500 on
Why?
it.
What
Because
did
my
you-
brother was paying.
What's your mother? Does she give a shit?
My mother loved it. She was. We were. My brother was paying. We picked out the most expensive one. We gave it to her. It's the classic one. It's not
the
like
Kelly bag style.
whatever. Yeah. So she goes to me, if you want the bag, I'll give it to you. I go, I
Oh, the Speedy, the little
Yeah, yeah.
I'm good. I don't want it.
You didn't take it.
No, I don't want
Well, how
it.
could you? Oh, because you really didn't want it. You weren't doing it to be
No.
nice because you didn't want it.
No, my brother bought us all furs one year. Were you there, Debbie, when he brought us all full-length mink coats? I missed that. I
Full
took,
length mink coats.
yes, and I took it back, and I got $8,000.
What do
Good
you mean you took
return.
it back?
He goes, go, and he'll do the.
Fit it for you?
He'll
Yeah,
fit it and everything for you because
Wow.
whatever. So we all went
Wow.
back, and everybody was getting it fitted. My sister, my mother, and I was like, I want my money back. And he's like, what? I go, I want my money back now. I want my money back. He gave me $8,000. I got rid of all my fucking credit
oh my
card debt.
God, that's great.
But to me that makes sense. Like, who needs an $8,000 coat? Who needs a
An animal that suffered.
$3,500 purse? You don't really need, right?
I got my.
You got a real one though.
I have a real one. And I'll tell you why I have a real one. I did a gig that was so shitty. They were paying me. They were paying me $1,500. They were like 300 used car salesmen. Really shit. The kind of a used car that if like you don't need any money down, but the car has a GPS, it'll shut the car off if you don't make your payment. These were real shit. And they had me in a situation. I was in this big place in Pennsylvania, like an estate, and there were 300 people, and the bar was still going, and I was in the dark, and the sound was bad, and nobody paid attention to me. I'm performing, and people are walking by. Like, I might have been in Grand Central with like just doing pantomime,
Yeah.
And I had to do my time, and the whole time I'm going, just get through this. There's a check at the end, and tomorrow you were going to the Short Hills Mall, and you were going to buy a Louis Vuitton pocketbook with this money. And I told myself to get through it, and there's the bag. I got it the next day.
Let me see.
Here it is. I got the bag, and it's
Very cute.
And you know what? It's not everything. It's a bag, but it was the only thing that could get me. I was going to cry because nobody was paying attention.
I did that in Vegas once. I was working Monte Carlo. I was up at the High Rollers. It was me and another comic. He was.
I love that Carrie gambles.
He was going after
with
me.
high rollers.
Oh,
I was performing.
I thought you were gambling.
No, I was performing for the High Rollers and they had
Wow.
behind you was a fireplace and you had to do 30 minutes, but nobody's listening.
Right.
So the whole time I was like, look at that guy's fucking toupee. Wait, can you swim with that thing? I was just making fun of the whole crowd. Nobody was listening. There was people right in front of me here at 2 couches, not listening, talking. Blah, 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 blah. So I was making fun of the crowd. I'm like, that guy looks like he lost every penny he has. Look at his fucking outfit. Look, he's going to jump off the ledge. And this is what I did for 30 minutes. I get off stage and these 3 people come up to me and they go, we could not stop laughing because no one was listening and you were spot on everybody. Everybody that was walking by you would say something about their clothes or their shoes or something. And the next comic goes, how are they? I go, you're going to eat it so But the whole time I was up there, I'm like, I'm not doing my act for these ungrateful pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to make fun of them.
Yeah.
I was never asked
good
back,
idea.
by the way.
But you are a gambler. You do gamble.
I'm a degenerate gambler.
What does that mean?
Do you
Explain
have a favorite casino?
Like, here, no, any casino's fine. That's why I try not to take casino gigs anymore because I will lose more money
you'll
than
lose
I'll
it.
make.
Although you did try to do that one casino gig
I
in
know,
Pennsylvania.
because I want to gamble.
See, that's the thing. I was trying to help you get that.
Okay.
So don't act like you don't try to get that.
So thank God I never did drugs because I would have been a drug addict.
Yes.
I have that personality.
Addictive personality.
Smoking, I smoked. Drinking, I drank.
Yeah.
I quit them all.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a casino, I'll say to you, here's $200. Don't give it to me. Whatever I say to you, whatever that's the next scene. Then I'm choking you, and then you're giving me the money, and then I'm getting money from you, and then that's the reality of my gambling.
Wow.
But do you ever? So you're always in the red. Have you ever won big?
I win every now and then. I win. Like one night I was down. I went in. I had $500 on me. I went in. I lost the $500 in 5 minutes. I go to my friend.
Oh my God! I would start.
I'd have a heart attack.
I would too.
Well, I go right to the big machines, right? So I go to my friend. Give me $200. She's like, really? You're already down $500? I'm like, just give me the $200. I take the $200. I put in $40 into a $10 machine. I only pressed one credit. When the max is 3, I pressed one. I hit for $1,900.
Oh my God.
The machine spits out the thing.
Yeah.
So now I still have the $200. Put it in my back pocket. I walk over to a dollar machine. I put, I don't know, 100 in, and on my 4th spin, I hit for $900. I grabbed that money out. I put it in my back pocket. Now, meanwhile, everything's taxed.
Oh yeah.
You gotta go give you a
I
fucking
forgot that part.
Then I go downstairs and I hit for another $800 and I walked out of the
Are you
casino.
kidding me?
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. I gave her back a $200. I walked away with like $2,400.
Wow.
And then you didn't go back the next day. And,
No, I didn't. I was good for good.
Wow. See, I won't gamble.
Then I played a scratch off and I won $2,000. But I'm gonna hit the big scratch off. I'm gonna hit a $7 million.
How often do you scratch?
I used to scratch almost every other day, but
You get the $25 ones. You're not getting the dollar ones.
right, I want the $7 million.
Didn't Esty from the cellar win like the lottery twice? Somebody said.
Did she?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I don't
Really?
know. I never
heard that.
I would love to hear
I
that.
heard that.
story.
I heard
I'm
that
good
not
for
once, but
her.
then one again. That's what I heard.
Really?
That's what I heard. It's comedy lore. I don't know.
Well, you could win like $100. I mean,
I don't know. I heard
that's
she won
winning the
big.
lottery.
I won $4 3 weeks ago.
I won 2. I never cashed it in.
Well, you got to cash it in within a certain time. But I'm going to hit the $7 million. But I used to play a lot of scratch offs, but now I don't because I'm not at Gyrolicious anymore. Thank God. That was a lottery.
What does
win.
that have to do with
I
scratch
sold
offs?
Gyrolicious
Did you sell
because
it?
right next door was a convenience store.
Oh, yeah.
I sold Gyrolicious, and that was the lotto. Like that, I hit the lotto when I got a buyer.
Hooray.
When I got a
Hooray.
buyer, I hit the lotto, and I was out. I'm out. I'm out of that.
You're done.
Done.
Don't have to worry about waiters and waitresses showing up.
Nope.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about cooks not showing
How's
up.
your
and-
life now? Are you happier? Or-
Well, now I'm waiting hand and foot on my fucking husband because his rotator cuff got
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The Tommy John surgery.
He was playing with himself too much. And
What's it called? Tommy Jones?
Tommy John surgery.
See, men when
the
they
pitcher.
masturbate, they have to work. You know, we have apparatus, we have vibrators, and men have to actually like use muscle. Okay, I've thought about this too much. Okay.
Well, you ever give a man a hand job? That's the most fucking exhausting thing you can do because it's all upper body strength. Which I
I think
have
a
zero.
blowjob is worse.
No, but you know what is-
Blowjob is next
when
strength.
you give a man a hand job, you know what? You're competing against themselves giving a hand job.
They're-
You will never do it the
That's
way
right.
that they like
Wait,
that.
There
It's
was
like
a comedian that had a joke. He goes, "I never ask girls to give me a hand job because it's like she's doing it, she's doing it." It's like, you know what? You're messing with the master.
yeah.
I know how I like it, so you know. But the blowjob is the worst. And then he'll say, "I'm like, how much longer?" And then he'll say, "Well, I'm holding off because it feels so good." Don't
Yeah.
fucking hold off.
Yeah, I had to hold her off for 2. Never. It's like, are you shitting me? Are you shitting me?
I have a metal neck.
Holding off? Come on, motherfucker! Okay. Are you kidding me?
I got a metal plate in my neck, you dick. What are you holding off on? Your joke is the
I
best.
told you my sister goes. She goes, you still. I told this on you right there. She goes, do you still blow your husband? I go, well, your fiance, sorry, he's not my husband. Kerry was right. I go, you know, not since the plate in my neck. She goes, yeah, I got to get me one of those.
But wait.
My dream was instead of marrying my husband Wolfie, that I would have married like a premature ejaculator. I mean, life would be so much faster. You can move on.
I know. Men think it's so terrible. Like Kevin Brennan's always talking about how horrible it is that he premature
Oh,
ejaculates.
that's a man of my dreams.
But
It's
I
a
think
joy.
I think women are happy with that.
I mean, just that woman never has to stick her finger up their ass to get it over with. I mean, you know, I think that's a great. Not that I've done that, but you hear my husband listening to this going, "What are you talking about?"
But you did a joke about
What?
how they were swallowing, and the
you-
girls they're like, "Oh, I
Why
spit
can
it
I
out."
never remember my own fucking jokes?
You go, "I spit it
Oh
out."
yeah, I don't even do that anymore. What is that joke? I go.
You mean you bitches? I didn't know
Oh,
that
you
was
spit
an
it
option.
out? You don't even fucking call me? Is that the joke?
Yeah, you go. I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah, because that is based on a true story. I go, you bitches are spitting out. Nobody even calls me. I didn't even know that was an option because my friend who's Jewish, Zebby,
No,
Robin's another Jew. She said to me, she's saying something about it's back when I used to do blowjobs, and she goes, well, you don't swallow it, do you? And I go, well, what the hell is she supposed to do with it? What do you mean? Because she was talking about spitting it out. And I go, what do you mean you spit it out? She goes, everyone spits it out. I go, no, they don't. And she goes, are you serious? She goes, you don't swallow, do you? And I'm like, I feel like the biggest asshole. Like, what do you mean? But I think some women swallow, right?
I never did
You never swallowed?
in my life.
I always did.
Thank you, Robin.
Yes, because who wants to do any extra laundry? You know, if you spit it out, get on the sheet, then you have to wash the sheet.
That's right. The tissue.
I think there's a reason this is not called This is the Connecticut Show.
Oh, poor Janie.
And Jane, poor Jane
Jane is
doesn't know.
appalled right now. She's like, oh,
She's like,
God,
oh,
I
I'm
can't
lear-
believe I agreed to
I'm
Swallow
that.
if you're spitting out, Jane. Yes or no?
I think I can only illustrate with a story of one of my boys coming down to breakfast.
Uh-oh.
I,
She has to clear her.
She's choking.
Jane has to clear her throat before she
needs a
says.
palate
She's like,
cleanser.
palate cleanser. Okay, Jane, go ahead.
if I can remember this.
Oh no, she's gonna forget the.
No, I just say your kids will ask you the stupidest questions about sex. Our son comes down to breakfast, and I'm a normal person. I got Cheerios and juice, and he says, "Mom, Dad, what's oral sex?" And I said to my husband, well, when the milk stopped shooting out my nose, I said to my husband, "I'm Catholic, you take it." And my husband, to his credit, sat the kid down, and he told him the truth. He said, "Son, I wouldn't know."
Ah, that's great. That's great. I knew it. I knew I liked you for a reason.
When Bill Clinton had the whole scandal back in the day with, I didn't have sex with that woman, it was just oral sex.
Yeah.
My daughter came home because everybody was, my daughter was, what's oral sex? And she was like 11. And so I explained it in detail.
You did?
All the way to the big surprise ending, okay? And she goes,
Really?
And she goes, I'm never doing that. No way. I said, sign here, initial here.
exactly.
And that's why I explained it to her in
And-
detail.
And then I said, and then there's a waiver here that says if you're in college and he's in medical school, your choice. So
My kid did this. She goes, I am never. When I told her what, she goes, I am never doing that. Like,
and there's an option. You don't have to swallow it. But you believed everything from day one. When any guy tell you anything, you believed it. You believed your husband was straight.
I don't know
And he was
why.
gay.
I always I don't know why I was so naive. It kind of bothers me. Like, I don't think I'm that way now. Like, I think I can figure
No,
out
you
the
are.
way people. Well, maybe I am a little naive.
Her husband walked down the aisle. You know who she was married to, Eric Cornwell.
Did you know? No, wait. I have to ask you something. Did you think Eric Cornwell was gay?
I don't know. I don't
Was he
think
gay?
so.
Yeah,
I mean,
see?
you guys were married. That's what I remember. But
Yeah. So I don't think people were going, he's gay.
Okay, when he cried down the aisle, sobbing.
That's gay. That was gay.
And the night before, he goes, maybe we should think about this.
Yeah, that was bad. He said, let's not do it. Yeah, that was bad, too.
that's bad.
That's really bad.
He cried the whole way down the aisle.
It was bad. Well, he didn't walk down the aisle. I walked down the aisle.
skipped down the aisle.
He was at the aisle.
That should have
He was at the.
He had red shoes on, like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz.
Oh my God! But anyway, but yeah, I always believed things. Like, I was stupid. I did a lot of stupid things. I'm fucking
All right,
Utica.
well,
When you know better, you do better.
All right.
We're at 9:25. How long have we been?
About an hour and 10.
Oh shit!
good.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. Let me see if there's anything else I have to ask.
Roy Moore.
Oh, we
the
were going to
Alabama
talk
guy.
about Roy Moore, but we got off.
See,
the-
and I loved him in all the James Bond movies.
All right.
That's
all right.
Roger Moore.
Excellent.
Roger Moore. Oh, well, we were going to. I guess we got it past the sexual harassment, but okay. What's his name? Sean Hannity evidently said that 14. You know, she had consented. The 14-year-old girl.
What? You know what? Somebody fuck his 14-year-old daughter. See how he feels about it.
Whoa, Robin.
All
that
right,
was-
Robin
I draw
Fox.
the line. Really,
Yeah, why don't we do that?
because you know it's interesting when it's a boy being
Yep.
sexually attacked. It's
Yep.
like somehow or other, you know, it's this terrible thing with Kevin Spacey, but it's a little girl. She must have lured and used her feminine wiles at 14. Fuck you.
Isn't that a weird thing for he's on a news program? Like,
Again, they're freaks.
yeah, I know. It's.
And the more power a man gets, the freakier he gets. The more money he gets, the freakier he gets.
I feel like because he thinks he can get away with it.
Right.
He knows he can get away with it because he can.
Right.
Because first of all, there are girls who will go along with it, and then the girls who don't want to go along with it, they
They're
have
like,
to
"Too
go
bad."
along with it. You are going along with it.
Right.
You know.
What do you do if you work for Harvey Weinstein and you need a job? You know, you have a mortgage and payments.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're
the
the person
problem.
who brings the girls up to his room, and the girl thinks you're going to stay there, but then you're an enabler.
You're the honeypot.
Yeah, you are the enabler.
You're the lurer. And I have a hard time figuring out, you know, where's
What?
the line.
Well, like, you know, that's the problem. Like, are you supposed to just quit the job? Are you supposed to quit the job and you have kids and whatever? Or I think you have to quit the job and
Yeah,
get
I
another
think-
job.
I think
mean,
you do
is
too,
another
but-
job so hard to find?
But it's just, you know, if you're a single mom or something, it's
yes.
We need more women in positions of power.
okay.
And
so
that's
Laurie
what'll stop.
Kilmartin said it the best. We need
Oh, I
more
liked
women.
her. I liked her.
That
Did you
was-
read her thing, Laurie Kilmartin's thing?
It was utterly,
I
utterly
love her, too.
fantastic.
And-
She said everything that we would all want to say.
That's right. But she said a lot of her, what was it written in? Was it just, where was it written?
It was in
the
the
New York
Sunday
Times.
Review.
in Hebrew.
It came out online on Friday night and in the paper on Sunday, but it was something like My World in Louis C.K.'s world, a female comic in Louis C.K.'s world.
Right.
And she talked about all the missed opportunities that women have because they're avoiding this booker or that comic. So they're trying to work around the system. And
That's true because the guys don't have to think about that. I
Right.
mean, I think guys only have to think about it when they're young and they're boys and they can't punch someone. Once they get up to a certain age, but you know things like that happened at the Arsenio Hall show with the guy who was booking the acts. had the male models pull their pants down.
Larry
It was
Ambrose did
yeah,
that.
yeah. Said it was like
Well, didn't he, Larry Ambrose get arrested for
Yeah.
sexual assault from
No,
little boys?
no, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Larry.
No, I
No.
You know, let's
Well,
be
you're
honest.
not a little boy.
For comedy for women, is a hostile work environment. It is. I mean,
Yeah.
when the first open mic you go to, and the guy starts humping the stool, and
I
you know,
also humped
and
the stool, that
yeah,
was that bad.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, that, you know, it's not exact. You know, it's not Girl Scouts. It's a different environment, and you adapt because I told myself, you know, I got to get tough here. I can't let this. I can't show that it bothers me, and I convinced myself it didn't bother me. But I have to tell you, it was easier for the guys. The guys could not.
Yeah.
They got more stage time than we did. It was a boys' club.
Well, it is.
When the comedy cellar, one night I was getting Lynn in there, and one night she was hanging out, and I think it was Patrice O'Neill. Somebody said something to her, and she walked out, and I go after her. She's crying. I go, oh, no. There's no crying in this
comedy.
fucking room. You
Oh,
suck
yeah.
this shit up. You go back in there, and you attack him back. There's no, but he
Way to
said
go.
that. I go, I
Right,
don't
yeah.
give a fuck what he said.
Yeah.
You go back in there, and you suck it up, and then
Good for
Lynn
you.
grew a pair of balls and a
Yeah.
half because
Yeah.
Yeah.
nobody fucks. Now she's like, you know, whatever. But I remember when she first was coming around, and I would be hanging out with, they'd be slamming, making jokes,
Yeah.
but I'd be right back at them, you know,
Yeah.
like
Right.
the Jim Nortons, they're quick, the, you know, Rich Vosses, and it was always that kind of environment. Everybody slammed each other.
Yeah.
That table was scary.
That table was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Terrifying.
Yeah.
it was terrifying. If
And you
did-
pretend you-
but I didn't care.
And my attitude.
Well, you're a different kind of girl, though,
But
Carrie.
my attitude was that I'm going to have to pretend to be that kind of girl who can handle it because there won't be a place here for me. So it changed me, and, you know, and it's okay, you know. And I was willing. Truthfully, I felt like the ones who weren't willing to put up with it were going to leave, and that made me get one step further where I wanted to go. So all you girls can go home and cry to mommy that these guys are being mean to you, and I'm going to stand up to it because I have things to do. I want to be a comedian. So I kind of saw it as a hazing that I had to get through, but it would have been a lot nicer if it hadn't been that level. I mean, sometimes the guys, they would amp it up, and you know, it was okay if they were being just Animal Housey, but when they made it about you personally,
Yeah. When you're
you
the
know,
one girl at the table and they're all going in, it is a gang. They gang
gang
up.
bang.
It is a gang bang.
But
And
you know what? I did, like, I started in the late 80s, but to say I started with, you know, if you're going out one night a week, that doesn't really count, do you know, when I had kids.
Yeah.
But from there to maybe the mid-90s,
Yeah.
I started out at Treehouse in Connecticut, and more women and more gay guys, mostly. You know, we started out, and when we first started out, there was so many anti-women jokes, and there was so many anti-gay jokes. And then we'd be sitting there in the audience, and the gay guys weren't laughing, and I wasn't laughing at some of these, and then they kind of got the message. I actually saw comedy shift in those 5 to 7 years where the guys just stopped being as I mean, there's
Douchebags?
always douchebag. There was a change, at least out
Well,
in our
I'll
little
tell you the
club.
biggest change is like when I started, no gay guys said they were gay.
Right,
Larry
right,
Ambrose
right,
never
right,
said he
right,
was
right.
gay. Jim David did not say he's gay. My
Right.
ex-husband never said he was gay.
Well,
no,
Jim David didn't have to say
he was
was
like,
gay.
hello.
Hello.
Jim David was the one guy who get away with using the C word on stage.
Yeah,
And
but he's so funny.
I know he's
I
very
think he's
funny.
very
That
funny
guy
too.
is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
But now all gay people say they're gay on stage. It's not
Right,
like a
right.
thing to hide anymore. Like everybody accepts it. But I remember thinking, oh my God, does he talk about? Remember Bob Smith? I remember
Yeah.
when he said he was gay. I remember thinking, oh my God, well, this is like so shocking. Is the audience going to go along with him now that they know he's gay? Are the guy? Like I remember thinking the guys in the audience, they're not going to laugh now. The straight guy, like it was such a fucked up way of thinking.
I think,
you know,
I think Eric and that generation, they were the last generation of gay guys and gay women who felt they had to get
Closeted.
married to have kids. And thank God that's behind them.
Oh yeah,
You know, that now they
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have to do that. But anyway, the
Well,
other
he got
point...
married again.
yeah.
Oh, he
My-
did? I
Yes.
didn't know that.
You didn't, but he did.
Yeah, he
To a guy, though.
to a guy. He got
Yeah,
married
which
to a
is
guy.
what he
What he
should've-
wanted to.
Yeah,
from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beginning.
yeah.
Yeah.
But thank God they don't have to hide that way
Yeah,
anymore,
yeah. No,
you know?
that's all good.
But what I love that Lori said too is we just need more women on stage, on staff, writing, and on camera.
You know what we need more
And
women
then it
of?
helps because when there were more women in the audience, a little treehouse, there were fewer anti-female jokes. When there were more gay guys, there were fewer. I'm not saying it ended it, but it sure shifted.
But here's what we need more women of. More women helping women.
Oh, totally.
Because
Totally.
these women...
Raise your hands if you help women in this room. We all help women.
Yes.
We all help women. I know.
My
I'm
hands
totally
up.
with you.
But
Oh,
then
before
there
I
are
forget-
women that are so catty and dumb, and I'm like, it makes no sense what you're
Right.
doing.
It's no fun to go on the ride alone, is my feeling.
And I think when women help, like when I get a gig and I do it, and
She
if I
passes
do a
it
private,
along.
before I leave, I go, oh, thank you so much. I love your audience. Do you do this every year? I know a couple of really great women who
And
would
I
be
do that,
perfect
too.
for your room
Yeah.
next year. Why don't you get in touch with me and
Yeah.
I'll plug my girls in, because the guys have been doing this forever. Sharing gigs.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
And TV spots.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Just one TV. Yeah. But I used to say when I used to walk home, my friend goes, "Aren't you scared walking home 2:00 in the morning from the club?" I go, "Well, if I get killed, I'll be on the news. It'll be my one TV credit." But I did. I have one TV credit. But it's
What's your TV credit?
Nick Mom Night Out.
Oh, I didn't get that. My ex-husband
I didn't get
was
that
the
either.
producer on that.
What a dick.
Oh, that's terrible.
He said that he couldn't. After that, I was very depressed for a long time. I thought, if I can't even get a Nick Mom, and I'm a
And
fucking mom, and my ex-husband is one of
Metzger
the
got it.
producers,
Casting people.
I have to kill myself. I have to kill myself.
Or him.
No,
Yeah,
that,
but
he wa-
what was
that
it? Oh,
wrong.
before I
Kurt
forget,
Metzger was on.
because Peggy.
Yeah, he
don't
was.
even talk to me about Kurt Metzger.
I know. Same.
Okay, don't even begin with Kurt Metzger.
He probably
or-
jerked off
or
in front of a
Patrice
lot of
O'Neal.
women.
Um,
He seems like the type of
he
guy.
seems-
Right? Doesn't he seem like fucking... Just seems like that type.
Why does he? It's true though.
He seems like
I
that.
can see
He's
it.
troubled.
Well, can I jerk off in front of you?
Yeah, I can
I don't
see
know
it.
about that.
We're sharing a condo.
Wait, before I forget, I don't know. We got to go. He's running out of juice. Okay, we're running out of juice. Okay.
Don't point to me.
Ladies of Laughter. Quick
yeah.
plug for Ladies of Laughter.
Saturday, Schenectady, Proctor's Theater,
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock and 8 o'clock.
These are two Ladies of Laughter winners.
Yes.
And you're with her on that one?
We're on that, and Bonnie McFarlane and Che.
Kelly McFarlane and
And-
Jocelyn Chia.
And Jocelyn Chia.
who's
And-
just up there.
And speaking of women helping, that Peggy Boyce from Ladies
Peggy
of Laughter.
Boyce
Peggy Boyce
helps
is
I
everybody.
will explain.
She's a
Peggy,
good
if
girl.
you ever
Stand-up
see a
gal.
Ladies of Laughter gig that you can go to support women, it's an all-woman show. Peggy Boyce
We love
started this
Peggy.
thing. She did a contest. All the girls go up
Contest
for the
this
contest.
summer again.
That's
Yeah.
right. And then you meet other women
Right.
at the contest. You network.
Right.
And then she puts you in shows.
Even if you don't win, she'll put you in a show.
Even if you don't win, and you do theaters, and you do.
She's
and
the
you
best
make
producer out there.
really
Do it.
good
Yeah.
cash, and it's
Yeah.
like so. Peggy
She's
Boyce.
great. Yeah, let's give a
She's the-
shout out to Peggy
Shout
Boyce.
out
Peggy
to Peggy
Boyce.
That's 20 years.
Yeah.
She took like a 10-year
Yeah.
hiatus because I was in the 2003 and then
Oh,
she
yeah.
in 2012.
Yeah.
I was in the 2003. I said I'm gonna go for this the next time they have it. And 10 years later she had it, and I went on and I got it.
She also did the Marshalls
Oh, yeah.
Women's Festival.
Oh, she did.
I didn't know
I
that.
remember when
I remember
when
that.
it was the Bud Light Ladies of Laughter
Yeah, when you-
contest.
yeah.
I was
and then,
skinny girl.
Oh yeah, and the year you were there was Skinny Girl. I don't know, but anyway,
Anyway,
she's great.
plug what you're going to be at.
All right, I don't know. Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know where I'm going to be. I have my book over
Yeah,
here.
Be
don't
here
worry
next
about
week,
it.
right here.
And you guys plugged your show with the.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just put iTunes, please.
oh.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Please subscribe and.
We are paupers. I'm sorry. Am I blowing out your ears?
We want to make money at
I
this.
have another one.
Yeah. So subscribe and review.
And review our show.
And
Let
review
us know
our
if
show.
you like
and
it.
yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And go
was
back
wonderful
and listen
meeting
to
you,
some of
Bob.
their old ones. The Joe Matarese one just made me a fan of his.
I love him.
Oh yeah,
He
Joe
was
Matarese was great. Oh
amazing.
yeah, he was taking his drugs that day, so he
Oh, my-
could. He
His
was very
focusing
funny.
drug.
And
His focusing drug, but
And
it made
the-
him talk
and the-
nonstop.
and the Julia Scotti one was
The
very
Julia
funny.
Scotti
You
one
kept
is a
asking her
great
if
one.
she'd cut it off. If she'd cut it off.
Oh, yeah.
I'm there like,
Well,
oh
Carrie,
please, they
that
got to
was like the-
stop.
That was
It
the
was
first
so
question. Carrie
funny.
goes, "So did you cut it off? Did you cut it off?
Cut the dick off.
What?
It was
You
so-
didn't cut it off? What?
Oh, no, he didn't cut it off?
No,
He cut it off.
he cut it
You
off,
have
but
to
it's still there.
you turn
It's-
it inside
turn
out.
it inside out.
Yeah, but it's cut off.
Like a
Nothing's
glove.
hanging.
like a.
I think
the
you
inside
should
of a glove.
replay the episode. Then you'll find out. Yeah.
Yeah, that
but-
was a good one.
You can't say what's hanging anymore.
No, you can't. What were other good ones that we did?
I don't know. I don't remember.
We can't-
Anyway, just go back and
All right,
watch
go
them.
back and watch them all. And
And thank you, Debbie Perlman, for coming.
Thank you, Debbie.
Debbie Perlman, thank you and thanks for giving your Italian stories. I'm sorry we didn't have a fifth mic. Usually we have another mic.
That's okay. I was just watching. I was happy to be here.
No, you're great.
She's happy to be here, and we're happy to see you.
Yeah.
Because She's one of my
Old
best
times.
friends.
Oh,
Yes.
really? Oh,
Yes, we
that's
went.
funny that I knew her.
We went to
but we
Greece
didn't-
together. We
Oh
went
my
to
God.
Italy together. We had some.
When I lost my luggage and I had to wear your clothes for a week and I was like a hooker.
Oh my God! You know what?
Wait, did people hear that?
No. Say it again.
I met Carrie in Greece, and my luggage was lost
In Mykonos.
in Mykonos, and she goes, "Yeah, I got a bathing suit for
Wait,
you."
I
I was
could
like,
get-
"Are you fucking kidding me?"
Wait, when you got off the plane, I go, "You're never getting
Yeah, she
your
goes,
luggage."
"You're never getting your luggage back. The fucking thieves here." And every day I go to the airport, I'm like, "Please, suitcase, come." I'm like wearing Carrie's
A thong,
high heels,
a thong,
a
my little
thong,
thong.
some sort of slutty dress. I was like, I can't even believe this is happening. And then finally, my luggage. I almost like made out with the guy at the luggage stand
Yeah.
when my luggage came
You
out.
had to wear my
And I
clothes.
said to Carrie, I go, "Do you have a bathing suit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can't wear that bathing suit."
It was a G-string.
She was in a thong all week. I was like, "Yeah, that's not happening for me."
But I had my top on because I couldn't go topless. Even though I had no boobs back then, I was really skinny.
You had boobs. You always had boobs.
Very little.
It was very traumatic for me. And then I spent a few days with your. Then Carrie talked me into getting a henna tattoo the day before we went to have dinner with her parents. Her mother looked at me like I was the whore of Babylon for like the entire time.
Yes, I remember. How about my
She's
friend?
like, "Get
my
one, a
friend-
big one on your shoulder, like a flower, something nice."
How about this? My friend Sandy steals a fucking loaf of bread off of a restaurant and shoves it in her dress, up her dress. And then that night she goes, "Does anybody want bread?" And Debbie goes, "I will starve to death before I eat that bread."
She smuggled like a whole thing of pot in her hoo-ha on the plane.
Yes, she did.
Up her hoo-ha.
She stuck it up there.
She
yes.
was lovely. Carrie met a guy. I didn't see her the whole week, and I was with her friend Sandy, who literally like had
He was
marijuana up her
Italian,
hoo-ha.
wasn't he Italian?
Good Lord, here's your mic.
Wait a minute. But if there's pot up your hoo-ha, wouldn't that get you high?
was in
It's in a container.
She had it
Oh, in a container.
Well,
She,
singing Christian music. Say motherfucker every
He's plucking her hair.
What do you mean her hair?
She had a she would pluck her
On the beach?
on the beach.
That's an attractive visual.
That is gross.
Now Debbie is so proper and perfect, and she's the complete opposite disgustingness. And she would always tag along to all my vacations because she had no money, and I would pay.
Carrie's so generous.
And she got stuck.
And I was stuck with her the whole week. Carrie met a guy, I never saw her again. And,
Carrie!
and Sandy's like, "What are we doing today?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're doing today."
I was there.
Carrie goes off. She meets Carrie's that friend when she meets a cute guy. You're done, right?
Bye.
You're shit out of luck. Bye bye.
Okay. Carrie's like, "The guy's got the worst teeth, but that's what deal money's for."
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So Adam's ready to get out of here. We've got 1 second left.
It's
It's
All
going to
right.
cut off.
Good
Goodbye.
night,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
good
Goodbye.
night, good night.
Goodbye.